4-90 says to build the following expressions with algebra tiles, then rewrite the expression in a different way. Remember that parentheses in an algebraic expression allow you to show that the tiles are grouped together. So we're only going to do for this one, Alpha and Charlie. So when I have this one right here, we're going to go ahead and use the E tool. So what it says is, come on, baby. There it goes. So we're going to only do Alpha and Charlie. So we have 4 groups of 2x plus 3. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to make one group. So I have 1, 2x, and then I need to add 3. So I have my 3 unit tiles, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's my one group. I'm going to go back. It says right here that I need to have 4 groups. So I need to make 3 more groups just like this. Whoop, put my tile right on top. There we go. So now I'm going to write my 2 expressions. So my one expression, the expression that most kids see on this is that they see the 4 groups of 2x plus 3. But how many is it all together? How many tiles are there of each kind? We want to combine like terms. We have 8x plus 12 unit tiles. So that's going to be what it's equal to, right? Okay, so that's for A. Now we're going to do Charlie, and Charlie's a little bit more complicated. So let me get rid of the writing. Okay, let's look at what it is. So it says Charlie is 10 plus 15x. So right now I need to get rid of 2 of my unit tiles, so I get my 15, or excuse me, my 10. And then I need to have 15, and right now I have 8 x's, 9, 10, 11, just dragging them over, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now this one here, they want us to divide it into as many equally sized groups as possible. So the way that I usually start these is I try to, because there's 10 unit tiles, I try to make 10 groups and see if I can make that work. So that means I take an X and a 1 and I see what's left over. As I make groups like this, and I just try to make I don't want them on top of each other. Try to make as many identical groups as I can right now. That's what I'm doing, because sometimes it works, and then sometimes I had to make some adjustments. That's the idea, is that we're trying to, it's okay to play around with it and it not work. So we have the 5 left over. So let's try it if we have 2 of the X's together. Okay, so I have that. Well, let's see. I'm going to put this guy up here and that one right there. That still didn't work. It still has some left over and they don't all match. So let's try 3 of the X's together. So I'm just going to start breaking up some of these other groups so that I can try to see if I have equal amounts. So at that right there, I have the 3 X's and they're equal. So that's good. in this way, so with no leftovers. So let's see if we can make the unit tiles work in this. So I'm gonna just start plugging them in. So we had 1, so let's try with 2. And it works. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna write this expression. Excuse me, not an equation, this expression. So in this one, we're looking at how many groups do we have? So we have 5 groups. What's in each group? Remember, that's what the parentheses are. That tells me what's in each group. So I have 3x's plus 2 1's. And so that's what you should have written. Make sure you write it down on problem 90, Charlie. Now, something that I am going to talk to you about real quick, and it's actually going to go on the page, on the paper, because well, let's go ahead and do that here. So the original one that you have on your paper is, no, I'm going to do it on the paper. Good gravy. Make a decision already. So let me get rid of the writing. Okay, and let's go back to over here. So you can see I haven't been writing all this stuff down like I've been telling you to. But we ended up where this was equal to 5 groups of 3x plus 2. Of course, you can flip those around. But there's another way that we can do this besides having those algebra tiles. And that's, the algebra tiles work. Sometimes they're a little time consuming, and it depends really on your numbers, how big they are. So with these ones right here, I'm going to look at the 2 numbers that are here. And we're going to talk, we're going to list their factors. So I have the numbers 10 and 15, and we're going to list their factors. So I have 1 times 10 and 2 times 5 is also 10. 1 times 15 is 15. Then we also have 3 times 5 is 15. And so if you notice on these, our greatest common factor, the biggest number they both have in common right here that you multiply by to get to that number, so the greatest common factor, also matches the number of groups we have. That's important because our next problem, we're going to have a lot. And I don't know about you, I don't want to pull out 21 x's, even if I'm just using an E tool and not a physical tile. That's a lot. So maybe we can use this other strategy to help us.